Hello students, let us start our subject, that is electronic instruments and measurement. In this, the first unit is basics of measurement. I have divided this whole unit into two parts. The first one is unit dimension and standards, and second one is measurement error. So let us begin the first part, that is unit dimension and standard. It has some basic terminologies. The first one is instrumentation. So instrumentation is the use of measuring instrument to monitor and control a process. So we have to use some instrument to measure the unknown quantity to control a process. The second one is the measurement. So measurement is the act or the result of quantitative comparison between a predetermined standard and or an unknown magnitude. Next is measurand. Measurand is the physical quantity or the characteristic which is measured. So let us take an example to understand this three basic terminology. So suppose you want to control the temperature inside a room. So first of all, what you will do? You have to measure the present temperature of the room. For that you need some thermometer. So thermometer will do what? It will just measure the temperature of your room. So here what is the physical quantity? Physical quantity is the temperature. So temperature is the measurand here. Now after you determine the temperature, now you want to control the temperature to certain other value. Suppose the room temperature is 28 degrees Celsius and you want to control the temperature and set it at 25 degrees Celsius. Then how you will do? You just switch on the AC and set the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius. So measurement is the comparison between a predetermined standard and the unknown magnitude. So what the AC will do? The AC will compare the set value with the present value. So the set value is predetermined standard, that is you set the value at 25 degrees Celsius and the unknown magnitude here will be your present room temperature. So your predetermined standard is 25 degrees Celsius and your unknown magnitude is 28 degrees Celsius. Now what will happen? As the time passes, the AC will cool down the room temperature and finally the room temperature will come down to 25 degrees Celsius. So the whole process, this whole process is known as instrumentation. That is the use of measuring instrument to monitor and control a process. So finally when both the temperatures becomes equal, what you have set and whatever be the room temperature, if both the temperature become equal, then your AC will go into standby mode. So this whole process is known as instrumentation. Now the next topic is elements of measurement system. Now the first element of the measurement system is primary sensing element. So primary sensing element is nothing but a transducer. Means to convert the quantity to be measured into electrical signal or some other suitable form for measurement purpose. So primary sensing element is nothing but a sensor. So in the previous example, your primary sensing element is a thermometer or temperature sensor. Like for example, thermistor or RTD, that will convert your temperature, heat, energy into electrical signals. Then the next part is the data conditioning element. So data conditioning element is nothing but convert your output data, that is the output from the sensor, into suitable form for transmission and presentation and further processing. So in the data conditioning element there are two subparts. The first one is variable conversion element and the next one is variable manipulation element. So first is variable conversion element. Variable conversion element means to convert the data into suitable form. So suppose your control system is digital but the output of the sensor is analog. So you need to convert your data into digital form. So this variable conversion element is nothing but it may be a analog to digital device. So just to convert the data into suitable form. Then the next part is the variable manipulation element. So variable manipulation element is to manipulate the data. So suppose the output of your sensor is very low. So what will happen? You need to just first you have to boost up the signal. So to boost the signal you need some amplifiers. Also you want to filter the signal so that the unwanted portion will be filtered out. So these things are done in the variable manipulation element. Then next part is your data transmission element. So after filtering and amplification, now you have to send the data to the next block for further processing. So data transmission element means to modulate the signal from and then send it to one point to another. For example, if you are taking the satellite control system, so in satellite control system the position of the satellite is controlled from the earth. So for that the data needs to be transmitted from earth to satellite and satellite to earth. So likewise this whole process that is called data transmission element. So finally the data will come and it has to be stored. So then data storage, like several devices are used. It may be hard disk or magnetic disk or tape or any other thing that is used to store the data. And playback system. So suppose if you want to playback the data later on, so we can playback directly from the storage device. So here one last block is the data presentation element. So data presentation element is to convert the data into some presentable form. Like suppose the data is some video. So how you will see the video? It needs to be converted into suitable form and the feed is given to the television or monitor and then you will see the video. Likewise if there is some audio, so you need to convert the data into some suitable form and then that data is presented to the observer. So these are the basic elements of measurement system. Now there are some fundamental units. There are 7 fundamental units through which all the other units are derived. So these are the standard units. So first is the length. You know length is measured in meter. Then mass. It is measured in kilogram. These are the SI units. Then temperature. It is measured in Kelvin. Then current in ampere. Then luminance of intensity, that is in candela. Then matter, it is in mole, and time in second. Now during calculations you will see the data is either very large or very big. So if your data is very large or very big, then it is not wise to write the data in the form of zeros. So suppose your data is 15 times zeros. So it is not wise to write 15 zeros. Instead of that, you can use 10 raised to power 15. So that 10 raised to power 15 is called peta and the symbol is P. Likewise, for example, you are doing communication. For that, suppose the carrier frequency is 1 megahertz. So for 1 megahertz, you cannot write 6 zeros. Instead of that, you can write 1 MHz. 1 MHz will be 1 megahertz. So these are the short forms. Instead of zeros, we can write only symbols. Similarly, for smaller values like for nanometer, you can write small n. For pico, you can write small p. Now the next part is calibration. So calibration is the process of configuring an instrument to provide a result for a sample within an acceptable range. So sometimes what happens due to aging or some other phenomena inside the instrument, the output is outside the acceptable range. So suppose the output is 100 volt, but your instrument is showing 102 volt, or suppose 96 volt, 97 volt, then it is outside the acceptable range. Then what you will do? You have to calibrate the equipment. So for that, calibration is required. So there are several methodologies through which you can calibrate the instrument. The first is data calibration, second is standard calibration, the third one is ISO 17025 accredited calibration. I will not go into details about how these calibrations are done. Just for reference purpose, I have written those names. Then comes the standard. Now a standard of measurement is the physical representation of a unit of measurement. So you have listened the name ISO, that is International Standard Organization. Likewise, there are several other standards like IEEE standard. So these standards are nothing but they are providing some set of rules or protocols that is the whole world it is following. So there are two type of standard. The first one is de facto and another one is de jure. So de facto means there sometimes lot of people are using some specifications, and those specifications are later on used by all the peoples, then that become a de facto standard. But in case of de jure, the set of people will sit and they will decide that what should be the standard. In that, suppose for an example, in award show, the jury members are sitting and they will decide who will come first, who will come second, and likewise. So there are two types, de facto and de jure. Now certain classifications of standard. The first one is international standard. So international standard is basically maintained by International Bureau of Weight and Measure, and it is not available to the ordinary user for the measurement. Basically what I have shown in the previous slide, here in this slide, the fundamental units. So these 7 units are basically the fundamental units, and these values, the value that how can you define 1 second, how can you define 1 mole or 1 ampere. So these standards are maintained inside the international standard. So that is called the international standard. Then second one is the primary standard. So primary standard are maintained by the National Standard Laboratory, like one is available in Delhi. So primary standards are accurate, very accurate, and they are used to calibrate the secondary standards. And these secondary standards are used as a reference in industries and in laboratories. So basically we are using secondary standard to calibrate our equipments, like our test equipments like multimeter or cathode ray oscilloscope or frequency counter. Likewise, all these equipments are calibrated using this secondary standard. After a certain time, when the output of your instrument is not as per the precision and accuracy. Then finally, there is a working standard. So working standard is also used in industries. So suppose you are manufacturing some capacitor, then how will you measure whether the output of your capacitor is okay or not? So in that case, we are using some standard capacitor, and all the capacitor whatever you are manufacturing, these capacitors are compared with the standard capacitor. Also, you have seen in your nearby that some shopkeepers are using stones instead of standard weight. They are using, for 100 grams they are using small stones, for 1 kg they are using some bigger stones. So how they are making those stones? So they just compare those stones with 1 kg, and then they will say this is 1 kg. So that is nothing but a working standard. So these are the basic standards. Thank you. This is the end of your first part.